So let's turn back the clock to July 28th, 2016. We have the Miners taking on the Windy City Thunderbolts. And here you see Shane Kennedy named the Frontier League Player of the Week. Congratulations to him. What an incredible season he had. Really caught fire, I feel like, in that June-July time period. And he really was the guy. And I would say the biggest reason why the Miners went 35-8 from the time that they previously played the Thunderbolts up until this series. It's so crazy when you look back at the two matchups. These two teams played each other 6 times. When they played each other back in May, the Thunderbolts were dominant. They were 13-3 coming into that series. Took 2 out of 3 in that one. Miners were 8-6, 9-8 when the series ended. But it was that one game that spearheaded that 35-8 stretch that they would have. Thunderbolts, on the other hand, went 13-29 from that point on coming into this series. But coming into this game, they were split 1-1. Miners won the first meeting, Thunderbolts won the night before. So who would take it all here? Jared Miller looking to tie up the season series for the Miners, looking to try and make it 3 games apiece. Thunderbolts, on the other hand, trying to make it 4-2. How would he deliver? What a stud he was. He was their ace, no doubt. So we're going to the top of the second now. Looks like we have Cody Kiefer getting things jump-started for the Thunderbolts. He would get to second base. That's how you want to start when you're a team like the Thunderbolts who struggled against a juggernaut like the Miners. So up next, Ransom Ladonde would get the ground out. That would get Kiefer over the third base. And up next, we have Kyle Wood. The first of 2 RBIs for him. So that would score Cody Kiefer. That would make it 1-0 in favor of the Thunderbolts. But Jared Miller would come up with the strikeout on the next batter to keep the game at 1-0. So now we go to the top of the third. Thunderbolts up to bat again. This time, Francisco Rosario robbing Larry Bockwell. Robbing him of that base hit. And then Miller coming up with the strikeout on the next batter. And then coming up with a big-time defensive play of his own right. That robbed Tim Zier of a base hit. So still 1-0. We go to the top bottom of the third now. Aaron Gates with 2 outs would come up with the infield single. When you think about this Miners team, you don't want to give them those kind of things. They were so good at taking advantage of that. So here, Shane Kennedy, Frontier League Player of the Week, coming up with the big-time hit. And look, this looks like we're not done. There's a whole lot of commotion going on down here. Even the cameraman's confused. So it looks like Aaron Gates, he might get home. Nope, he goes back. It looks like he might get tagged out. Nope, looks like he's tagged out, but instead, it looks like the catcher dropped the ball. So that would keep Aaron Gates at third base. Up next, Craig Massey drawing the walk. So that would be bases loaded for the home run hitter of the game. That would be Alex De Leon, who had his clutch moments. But there were also some times, like right here, where he would come up in those big moments and not be able to deliver. So we go to the top of the fourth now. Thunderbolts looking to strike again. This is Corey Bass again. With the double. So Thunderbolts at it again. They were such a pesky team in this particular game. Now Kyle Wood coming up. Would he be able to deliver? Looks like we might have it was a long double right at the wall. That would score Corey Bass. Kyle Wood at second base. Thunderbolts looking to break this game open, but they would not be able to. So we go to the bottom of the fourth. Here you have your hitman of the game, Nolan Early. Would he be able to deliver? I don't remember the whole concept of that hitman of the game thing. It was interesting, but nonetheless, Nolan Early does his job. So somewhere in that stadium, we hear the La Fiesta jingle. He did his job, and now there's Steve Marino coming up with the base hit. And now Riley Moore. Looks like he might get a single. No, he has to settle for the sacrifice bunt, which he was up there to do. He did his job, so that gets man on second and third. There you see Nolan Early. Now we have Edison Sanchez. Would he be able to come up? He gets the ground out, so he does his job. He got a run in. Nolan Early would come through the score, so now it's 2-1 Miners. Now we go to the top of the fifth. Thunderbolts not done. Coco Johnson coming up with the big hit right there, so that would get him on first base. They just keep on battling. You know, you just watching this game, you just felt like any minute the Miners were going to break through and just take this game over. Tim Zier coming up with the big hit in his own right. But you got to give credit. Give credit to the outfielder there for making that big time throw. That gets Coco Johnson gets to third, but that keeps Tim Zier at first base. Looking at that hit, that looked like that was going to be a double. That looked like that was going to score a run. Nonetheless, Jared Miller comes up clutch, prevents any damage from happening, walks off the field, relieves, so we go to the bottom of the fifth now. Miners looking to strike. Craig Massey draws the walk. It's just a solid player right here. The guy just knows how to get on base. Now Alex DeLeon, the home run hitter, not quite a home run, but he does come up with the base hit. So that would get Craig Massey over to second base. So now we have runners on first and second. Nolan Early, the hitman of the game now. Looking to deliver. Instead, he comes up with a strikeout. Disappointing there. Disappointing so far. So now we go to the top of the seventh. Thunderbolts still up 2-1. There's Blair Beck coming up with the base hit. So that would get him on first base. Thunderbolts looking to take control of this one, or keep control, I should say. So now Blair Beck advances to third on the base hit. Charlie Thurber. That would be a double. And up next, on the ground out by Tim Zier, Blair Beck would come through the score. Miners not happy. They thought they had him out at home plate, but not quite. Nevertheless, Jared Miller would come up with the strikeout to keep the damage limited. And he would do it again. Strikeout looking right there. So still 3-1. So after all that, Thunderbolts only come up with one run. So Miners, bottom of the eighth. How many times do we see their eighth inning magic? And it looks like they might be on it again. Here's Craig Massey with the big time double over to left field into the left corner. Looks like any minute Miners are going to have one of those patented runs. Now you see Steve Marino coming up. That would score Craig Massey. So now it is 3-2. This is that moment. Miners are going to break through and win it, right? We've seen it so many times in 2016. They weren't 63-33 for nothing, right? They didn't go 35-8 coming into the series for nothing. So now Riley Moore started the season off high. Would he be able to deliver here? It looks like he might get the ground out. The ground ball up the middle, but nope. Great defensive play by the Thunderbolts. They would get out of this inning only giving up one run, so they still up 3-2. Miners' last chance for them, bottom of the ninth. Edison Sanchez draws the walk, setting the table. Eventually, there would be two more outs before Shane Kennedy would come up. This is his moment right here. Would he be able to deliver? We got the base. No, not quite. No. Great diving play right there, and that would end the game. Thunderbolts win this one 3-2. So, very gutsy victory. Big time victory by the Thunderbolts. It kind of an upset when you think about how they came into this series, how much they were struggling, and how hot the Miners were. Yet for the Thunderbolts to come into Marion and take 2 out of 3 on this Miners squad, very impressive. Both pitchers on each side were fantastic. Jared Miller pitched 7 innings, only gave up 3 runs. All 3 runs were given up by him. He had 7 strikeouts, no walks. On the other end, Jake Fisher, also equally outstanding. Basically, they had the same stats. The only difference is the runs. Jake Fisher gave up 2 runs. Jared Miller gave up 3. And that is the difference in this ball game.